Now, the Provincial Jakarta government continues their efforts to transform the capital into a smart city, including by working together with Berlin on a program dubbed Smart Change. To discuss more about this, Metro TV's Sara talked with the project manager of Smart Change, Kariem El-Ali.
Smart Change is a project implemented jointly by the Jakarta provincial government and also the state government of Berlin, funded by the European Union. Jakarta and Berlin, as sister cities, are committed to improve the integrated urban development through their city partnership, supporting the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development through digital transformation, and also Jakarta's Smart City 4.0 transformation. And one of their programs is the newly launched Program Designers Lab. And to know more about this, we have with us on Jakarta Movers and Shakers, Kariem El-Ali, Senior Policy Advisor for the Provincial Government of DKI Jakarta. Hello, Kariem. How are you? Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, hi, Sara. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Kariem. Kariem, can you please tell us what exactly is Smart Change and also the Program Designers Lab?
Yeah, so thank you for the question and the nice introduction. Actually, you summarized everything. But just being said, Smart Change is a project funded by the European Union. It has been jointly developed under the framework of the Jakarta-Berlin Sister City Cooperation. We address two main targets with the activities we are implementing under this Smart Change agenda. So one is to promote good governance, smart city, and digital transformation of local authorities. And second aim we target is to support the startup ecosystem in Jakarta to create innovation, jobs, and fair income opportunities. So as you said, the Program Designers Lab is one activity of the various activities we run in Smart Change. And with the Program Designers Lab, we support the startup ecosystem in Jakarta. So it's a training tool for startup support organizations where we would like to empower these organizations with tools, capacities, budgeting, and networks to enable them that they can align their programs with regard on smart city and innovation in Jakarta. And the second thing we aim to is to synergize and harmonize the program, especially also as we are facing the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic to build up resilience against this.
Yes, and speaking of COVID-19 and also the digital transformation, many have said that COVID-19 has accelerated digital transformation. And regarding this, looking from the startups here in Jakarta and probably Indonesia, many have said that now many Indonesians are keen on creating startups because of the condition we are facing right now. But there is a downside, which is the lack of knowledge, skills, and also the education. From your point of view and also your experiences, is this still true? Is this still applicable, the lack of knowledge and skills and also the education?
Yeah, I don't think that's true. So I think Indonesia is an exciting place, especially to build up a startup. I mean, there's, I think, four main facts I would like to point out. I mean, the one fact is, of course, it's the largest, one of the largest markets in the world with 270 million people living in Indonesia. It's also the fastest growing market for digital economy. So the digital literacy is among the highest in the world. And we have, as you said, several localized problems and challenges. And of course, we need local talents to solve this challenge. And speaking forth, there is a new generation increasingly ambitious in entrepreneurship and in order to solve all the challenges we are facing.
All right, as you mentioned before, the Program Designers Lab also supports the startups, but how do you view the startups and also the entrepreneurship development here in Jakarta? Is the support system enough for them right now? Is it sufficient for them to prosper and grow? How do you see this?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the digital transformation had many impacts. So one, of course, was also that there are emerging startup support organizations over the past year on the market, not only in Indonesia or Jakarta, but also in Berlin and anywhere else in the world. And entrepreneurship and collaboration and innovation has become like a living and giving force to develop this innovation, especially for smart cities around the globe. And the startup support ecosystem and the organizations, they support the ideas to grow into real business, which can create, of course, a new job and solve the challenges. Coming back to the Program Designers Lab, we are initiating a cross-sectoral and multidisciplinary international exchange between the ecosystem builders, but also government officials and experts. And we are focusing on two main questions during the program, which is the first one is how can entrepreneurship help in developing work in a smart city? And the second question is what kind of solutions can be accelerated through the startup support organizations? Of course, we did a need assessment and were like observing the challenges the startup organizations face too. And we could observe several points. So one was the lack of publicity of their programs. They are also facing and sustaining their local and international mentors for the startups they are representing. And they are facing also problems in generating sustainable revenue to execute the programs. And limited information and availability on funding on funding they can in order that they can implement their programs. Okay. So through the PDL, we want to close this gap they have.
And speaking about issues, what about the issue of digital infrastructure in Jakarta or Indonesia as a whole from your experiences here in the country? Do you think it's conducive enough to support all of these emerging talents and people running startup businesses?
Yeah, thank you for raising these questions. I've been moving to Indonesia in 2019, so before the COVID pandemic. So I had a chance also to travel a bit around the country and see other places than Jakarta, but especially maybe focusing on Jakarta and seeing the potential there. It's one of the most emerging digital ecosystem you can face in the world, especially when it comes to early stage funding of these startups. It's the place to be, so that you can see a lot of funding and investing in early stage in ideas in order that they can accelerate into sustainable businesses. But also you have you have most unicorns in Asia, like coming from Indonesia, Jakarta. So speaking for someone coming from Europe, I think it's a good and great entrance gate to the market in order to access the potential the market has.
Okay. And speaking of potential, what kind of potential collaboration can we hope to see in the future between Berlin and also Jakarta, especially regarding the digital ecosystem development in the city?
Yeah, so what we are currently working on is to build an innovation center in Jakarta. So it will be called Future City Hub under the Jakarta Smart City Unit. Within the hub, we will facilitate building of a future city ecosystem, especially through a platform of co-creation where we invite citizens, the innovators, corporates, academia, and international partners to co-jointly create solutions for smart city. That being said, we are pretty much excited to launch the hub, but as you know, the COVID-19 pandemic had some challenges for us, and we hope that maybe next year we can go back to the new normal. And to get the big picture, next year we celebrate the 70th anniversary of German-Indonesian bilateral relations, and hopefully we can have this hub being launched and opened as conjunction of this.
All right. And how can we ensure that the outcome or the impact of the hub or the collaboration is sustainable and also beneficial for the larger community, especially in creating a smart digital ecosystem in the city?
Yeah, so I mean, Jakarta and Berlin, they are sister cities since more than 25 years now. And they started the first time in connecting their ecosystem, their startup and innovation ecosystem back in 2016. But this was mainly focused on delegation visits where people came to Berlin and people went here and we had conferences. But this partnership now, and especially with the funding of the European Union, could develop into more concrete activities, as you said, the Program Designers Lab, the Future City Hub, and much more other stuff we're doing at the moment. And this partnership will be the anchor and driving force for this exchange. And it often happens that, for example, a country makes decision and adopt policies on a national level. such as climate change or urban development. But then how and who needs to implement and adopt these policies? It's usually the cities and the city administration who need to take this over. And we see the Jakarta-Berlin sister city cooperation as a framework for this and supporting the mission and vision of the government.
All right, Karim, we sure do hope that these initiatives can help boost and also support the government's digitization effort, and especially to create a beneficial exchange of ideas, best practices, and most importantly, collaboration between our two cities, Berlin and Jakarta. Once again, thank you, Kariem El-Ali, Senior Policy Advisor for the Provincial Government of DKI Jakarta, for joining us on Jakarta Movers.